folks, Mrs. Hines here. So today we're going to work with our EV3 robots and the light sensor. You're going to do the following programs. You're going to do stay in a box, where your robot has its light sensor pointed down towards a white mat or a colored mat with a border. The border can be lighter or darker, but it's a different color than the center of the mat. Your robot's going to stay in the center of this mat. When it runs into the opposite color, it's going to back up and turn. Your second light sensor program is the Cricket bot. So again, you'll have a loop and a light switch. When the Cricket bot sees the room, it's going to stay still, versus when you cover up that sensor and you make believe that it's dark, the robot should move for one rotation and make some sort of noise, if there's a chirping noise or some type of bug type noise. So basically, a robot does two different things depending on whether it's light or dark, mimicking a cricket. So when it's light outside, crickets are still, they're sleeping. When it's dark outside, they're moving around and making noises. And the last one, your robot will follow a black line using one light sensor. So basically, when it sees the white, it'll turn towards the black line. When it sees the black line, it will turn towards the white section, inching along and able to follow a line. So in your program, you can begin a new program. And under your flow control, you're going to actually drag out a loop, and you're going to drag out a switch. You're going to change that switch from the default touch sensor by clicking here, and you're going to make it a color sensor. You're going to have it compare its reflected light value. You could also use ambient light or color, depending on your application of this, but for this purpose, we're going to use reflected light. So that's where we're going to compare this number. So if you actually physically look at your robot and you go over to the third tab, there's a tab that says Port View. And if you press the center button, you can basically toggle over until you see where your light sensor is plugged into. Mine is currently plugged into port 2. So when my robot is looking at a white surface, it sees a high number. It sees 85%. Versus when it sees a dark surface, it sees 0% of that light is reflected. So if I average those two, so if I just take 80 and 0, average them out, so add together, divide by 2, I get 40. So if I change this number here to 40, if the number is greater than 40, it'll see the white area. If the number is lower than 40, it'll see the dark area. So if I want my robot to stay within the white parameters, it's going to travel forward always when it sees the white. When it sees the black, it'll back up and turn. So I can have both motors on in the negative direction, and then I can have it turn. The important part of this aspect down here is that it is short duration. You don't want it backing up for too long or else it'll go off the mat, or turning too long, it might get stuck in a corner. So if you want to try to download that, that would be your first stay-in-a-box program for the light sensor. The next program would be if the robot acts like a cricket. So I'm going to save some time. I'm just going to delete these few icons here because I've already screenshotted and showed my instructor the program so I get credit for it. And when my robot sees the room, my robot registers 0. So if the number is low, I want it to act like it's daylight out. So I don't want my robot to do anything. So I'd actually have my motors be stopped. And then I'm going to say, all right, well, if it's daytime, I want it to make a sound and move. So you can drag out these things into this section here. So you can go through and play different sounds, have your robot make a different sound, and then have it move. You're going to have to figure out the value that you need to put in here. So when my robot sees the room, it sees 0, versus when I cover it up, it's 39%. So if I average those numbers, I get 20%, and this would work for that program. My last program is going to be following a line. So again, I have saved things. I put them into my Google Sheet or Google site so I can show off my coding skills to other folks, and I can reload them on the robots if I wanted to. So the same value that I used before, comparing the white and the black, I'm going to use that same value. So I'm just going to say, all right, if I have my motor inch along, so I'll have it only do motor D, versus down here having it only do motor A. Now, I have to tell motor A to stop up here, and then motor D to stop down here. So that's what I'll do next. So I'll just drag this up here, have this be A, and then have same thing, have this be off. And as long as that's correct, it'll just inch along the line as slow as can be. So if you want to mess with the power level, and hopefully on, and then on, and hopefully that'll make your robot inch along the lines. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask the instructor, but these are your light sensor programs.